Welcome to Correct Science. Today, we are going to learn how to balance chemical equations using a very super easy trick. It's called the ABCD method. Maybe remember a song you were singing in KG. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Today, that song will help us in chemistry. But how would it help us? Let's take a look at how it will be. Okay, so we use alphabets as coefficients. So A, B, C, D. Yeah, that's why it's called the ABCD method, because we use alphabets. Now, for each element, write an equation in terms of the coefficient. So for now, because we not write an example, you might not get the steps, but let's write it down. Now find the coefficient that occurs the most number of times, and let that coefficient be 1. Solve for the coefficients. In case there are any fractions, you just clear the fractions. Okay, without wasting my time, let's try one simple question. So this one is not the main thing. We are just getting the concept from this one. So example 1. A2 plus O2 going into A2O. What do we do? Use alphabets as coefficients, just as we said. So A, B, C, D. So here there are 3. So use A, B, C. Yes, so like this, A, B, C. We place it in front of each of them. Now, what do you do next? For each element, write an equation in terms of the coefficients. So for each, what do we have here? H, we can see that 2 multiplying what? A. Then now on the right hand side, which is the product, you see for H, we have 2C. Since they all have 2 in front of them, they can cancel and we have A is equal to C. Now for O2, for O, we can see 2B is equal to what? C. We've gotten an equation in terms of the coefficients for each element. What do we do next? Yes, so this is it. So let the coefficient that occurs the most be 1. So here C occurs the most. You can see it here and you can see it here. So 2 times it occurs the most. We let that one be 1. Now you solve. You solve for the coefficient. So if C is equal to 1, and we say A is equal to C, then A is also equal to 1. Now 2B is equal to 1. So B is equal to half. So we have C equals 1, A equals 1, B equals half. Now you put all these back into the main equation. We have 1H2 plus half O2 going into 1H2O. Now we can see a fraction here. So we clear the fraction. We multiply through by 2, by 2, by 2. So this will take this out. So you get 2H2 plus O2 going into 2A2O. Multiply through by 2 and you get this. So this is our equation. You realize that for this equation it was easy. So usually equations that are easy to balance, we don't use this method. Usually use this method for equations that are difficult to balance. But I use this example to make us understand the concept. So let's try another example. C8H18 plus O2 going into CO2 plus A2O. This is a combustion reaction. So how do we do it? So the same thing. Use alphabets as coefficients. A, B, C, D. So the A, B, C, D, you use up to the number of reactants and products present. So here we have in total 4. We place the alphabets in front of each of them. So A, then B, then C, then D. Okay. Now, for each element, write an equation in terms of the coefficients. So for C, you can see that on the left-hand side, which is the reactant side, 8A, 8A will be equal to C on the right hand side. To produce C, 1C, and that's the same as C. Now, for hydrogen, 18A will give us 2D to write that 2. Now, for oxygen, it will be 2B, 2B giving us 2C plus 1D. Simple. So we've gotten an equation in terms of all the coefficients. What do we do next? Now we look for which of them is appearing the most number of times. Realize that A appears 2 times, D appears 2 times, C appears 2 times. So the decision is yours. But most favorably, let's go for A, because that one will make it easier to solve, right? Since it stands out. It's not any equation with plus, so that one just you go your way. So let's make A equal to 1. If A is equal to 1, then C will be equal to 8. Now 2D will be equal to 18 times 1. Then D will be what? 18 over 2, 9. And B, okay. So to solve for B, 2B equals 2 times 8 plus, found out that is 9. So it will be what? 16 plus 9, 25. Then you divide by 2 to get B. So B is equal to what? 25 on 2. Good. 25 on 2. I hope you are getting it. Very good. Now we place these values into our main equation. So you get 1C8H18 plus 25 on 2O2 going into 8CO2 plus 9A2O. We can see a fraction. Let's clear the fraction. So multiply through by 2. So now we get 2C8H18 plus 25O2 going into 16CO2 plus 9A2O. Okay, so we made a mistake here. It should have been 18A2. Yeah, 18 because you multiply by 2. 18. So it's always good to check when you're done to see if it's completely balanced. So you check, okay, the C here is 16. It's equal to 16 here. Fine, it's balanced. Now you check H. Here it is 36. Here it's also 36 balanced. So you check it that way to know that you are correct. So here we have a balanced chemical equation. 2C8H18 plus 25O2 going into 16CO2 plus 18A2O. Good. Okay, now let's try this third example. So in this video, we'll be trying 3 examples. Then I'll give you more to try. Have you seen this? Very simple. Let's try this one too. So we place the alphabets in front of them. So here we have 5 in total, reactants and products. So 5 in total. So you do A, B, C, D, E. Now, for zinc, A is equal to C. The A on the right hand side, on the left hand side will give us C. Just 1, 1, 1. Now, for hydrogen, B here will give us what? 2 of D. 2 of D. What about nitrogen? Nitrogen is also B. And you can see that the B is front of this. So 1B is equal to 2E. Then we have 2 multiplying this 2, multiplying this in. Then we have C. So we have 2C plus 2E. So we can bring the 2 out and have C plus E. Very, very simple. I know you're enjoying it. Or, yeah, you have to. Okay. What about for oxygen? So for oxygen to be 3B on the left hand side, 3B equals this 2 multiplying this 3 to give us 6C plus 1 here, 1O, D, 1D plus 1E. So we have 3b equals 6c plus d plus e. Yes. So let b be equal to 1. Since it's the one that's appearing the most number of times, and it will be easier to solve it with that one. So let b be equal to 1. Now, directly, we can see that d is equal to 1 on 2. Because if b is equal to 1, d will be equal to 2d will be equal to 1. Then d will be equal to 1 on 2. Now, also, 1 is equal to 2 times c plus e for nitrogen. So we get c plus e is equal to half. You divide through by 2. So this is our equation 1. Now, for oxygen, 3b, now b is 1. So 3 is equal to 6c plus d plus e. And we know d is equal to what? 1 on 2. So 6c plus e plus 1 on 2. Now to get 6c plus e, you just send it 1 on 2 to the other side to get 6c plus e is equal to 3 minus 1 on 2. That will be 6c plus e equals 5 on 2. This is our equation 2. Now what do we do? Apply simultaneous equations you learned in mathematics here. So we have equation 2 minus equation 1. Equation 2 minus equation 1. That will be 6c minus c plus e minus e equals 5 on 2 minus 1 on 2. Good. So we have 5c equals 2. Since 5 on 2 minus 1 on 2 give us 2. Now, make c the subject and we get c to be equal to 2 on 5. From what we said earlier, a is equal to c. So a is also equal to 2 on 5. Now from equation 1, you can make e the subject, right? Bring c to this side and change the sign. We have half minus c. So e is equal to half minus 2 on 5. Very, very simple. Okay. And that will give us 1 on 10. So e equals 1 on 10. Now we found all of them. So let's write it. So a is equal to 2 on 5, b equals 1, c equals 2 on 5, d equals 1 on 2, and e is equal to 1 on 10. A lot of fractions. Let's put all in. We want to get more space, so let's start on a new page. Okay. So let's put all in. So we have 2 on 5 Zn plus 1 8NO3 going into 2 on 5 Zn into bracket NO3 outside the bracket 2 plus half A2O plus 1/10 N2O. And we clear the fraction. What's the lowest common denominator? And that's 10, right? So we multiply through by 10. When we multiply through by 10, get 10 times 2 on 5. 5 will cancel 10 to get 2. 2 times 2, 4. So 4Zn plus 10HNO3 going into 4Zn into bracket NO3 outside the bracket 2 plus 5A2O plus N2O. So you see, anytime you have a fraction, you clear the fraction so that you can have whole numbers in front of them. Now let's check if our equation is balanced so that we don't make any mistake. Okay. I have this table here. So on this side, Zn is 4, the reactant. Product realized is also 4. So it's balanced. Okay. Now, for hydrogen, here it is what? 10 reactant. Now we come to the product side, it's also 10. 5 times 2, so balanced. Now for nitrogen to here it is what? 10. It's 10. Now here to when we come to this 2 times 4. Then 2 times 1. So 2. So 4 times 2 plus 2. And that will give us 10. So it is also balanced. Now 30. For oxygen to be 30. 10 times 3, 30. Now for this side, what do we get for this side? So for this side, we get this 3, multiplying these 2 by 4. And that will be 4 times 6, 24, plus 5 times 1, giving us what? 24 plus 5, 29, plus 1, 30. So it is also balanced. So all 3 are balanced. Simple. I hope you enjoyed the video. So try these questions on your own. You can send your answers in the comment field by just giving the coefficients. Very simple. So you can pause the video and write down the questions. Okay. So pause the video, write down the questions. I'll be expecting your answers in the comment. Thank you.